She was nearly halfway through my laser tripwire mesh, her body slick with olive oil, pulling a yoga mat behind her like some sort of improvised sled. That's when the targeting system on the prototype beeped into life. Just a low, ominous ping. I stood frozen, watching from the internal monitor in my garage. Marlene Tate, HOA president and self-declared guardian of the neighborhood, was slinking past a crate labeled, "Do not disturb unless you're tired of breathing." The timestamp on the feed? 2:03 a.m. She was muttering something almost incomprehensible about illegal storage and property offenses, her tone low and grumbly, oblivious to the fact that she stood an inch away from activating a non-lethal suppression net, the same type once deployed for cartel raids in dry towns, now redirected for suburban defense. That's when it hit me like a freight train. Marlene had no clue she had just trespassed into the most fortified civilian garage in a tri-county radius, and that garage was about to introduce itself. I moved to Cedar Crest to avoid this exact flavor of nonsense. After 20 years designing tactical systems for special ops, tech so classified the Pentagon pretends it doesn't exist, I figured I'd earned a break. Quiet cul-de-sac, golf cart riding retirees, yoga moms running with lattes, weekend warriors grilling like battle preparation. It was the ideal location to fit in. My home? Unassuming. Single level. Good lot. A place to drink coffee, rebuild bikes, and perhaps take on a quiet contract or two. To remain incognito, I got the garage to blend in. 6-foot privacy fence in plain beige, blackout drapes, unobtrusive shrubs along the borders. Mission: invisibility. But here's the catch. Try too hard to disappear, and you're broadcasting yourself like a Christmas tree, particularly to the likes of Marlene. She greeted me before I'd even finished unpacking the final moving box. I was lugging a duffel bag when she appeared, clipboard grasped like a riot shield, tight smile, and a measuring tape dangling from her belt like some HOA gunfighter. "Just verifying for code compliance," she chirped, already measuring my mailbox like she was charting a war zone. I made a joke about obeying any rule that didn't violate the Constitution. She didn't smile. Her gaze instead drifted to my garage. Double-reinforced titanium doors glinting slightly in the sunlight. Biometric scanner hardly visible. "What's inside?" she snapped, voice cutting. "Tools," I replied. Technically not a lie, merely selective honesty. Within that first week, she'd filed 3 separate HOA complaints. One for a strange humming noise, just my battery core stabilizer doing routine checks. One for armored trash bins, basic steel cans really. And one for intimidating landscaping. I'd chosen gravel over mulch. I stayed polite, waved, nodded during her power walks. Figured she'd lose interest and move on to someone else's flower beds. I was wrong. Marlene wasn't merely curious, she was merciless. And I'd been elevated to obsession status. Things came unhinged when the HOA brought in a new regulation, garage inspections, in the name of community safety. A weak excuse to snoop around. I knew this had Marlene's signature all over it. At the community meeting in a dusty clubhouse with the stench of old coffee, I sat back and grumbled. What are we expecting to discover? Secret robot armies. Some of the neighbors laughed. Marlene did not. "My garage is a locked, city-accepted lab," I said flatly. "No one comes in but me." Board members shifted uncomfortably. Greg Larson, the drowsy HOA president, grumbled something about needing to see policy. But Marlene, she just glared. After that, I'd spot her around my property, hanging out in the bushes, patrolling the fence line, pretend smiling while texting. She even threw a frisbee over once and asked to pick it up. I threw it back. No thanks necessary. Then there was that night. I was fast asleep, dreaming of torpedo wrenches and highway cruises, when my silent alarm vibrated through my wristband. Breach. East perimeter. Doggy door. I don't even own a dog. Amateur error. I took my tablet, swiped to the garage cam feed. There she was, Marlene, headlamp around her head, elbows greasy from Crisco, sliding like an off-brand spy movie. She pulled her yoga mat, complaining about inspections. The system scanned her thermal signature, cross-checked it with my database, now laughably including HOA board members, and loaded the net launcher. 90 seconds until she became the angriest spring roll in the tri-state. I leapt out of bed, grabbed jeans, sprinted into the garage by the emergency side door. "System off," I snapped. The net halted in mid-prep. Marlene shrieked and huddled behind a bench, where she saw the prototypes. The tactical gear, the armor, the tools with serial number stamps. Her eyes widened. "Bombs," she whispered. "That's a smart wrench," I said matter-of-factly. "It takes torque measurement through vibration analytics." "This is illegal," she yelled. "No one needs this unless they're the government." I blinked. I was the government. You just trespassed on a federal lab. She ran, slipped on coolant, knocked over a helmet. It scanned her. I cut it off before the flash beacon went off. Grabbed her by the elbow, oil dripping down her sleeves. "You have 10 seconds to leave, or you're committing felony trespassing." She limped out, her hair and legs all twisted with comms wire, spitting threats of HOA vengeance. Next morning, she stood on my driveway looking like a greasy banshee. "You attacked me with equipment," she screamed. I drank my coffee. "You want some Crisco with that?" By lunchtime, 2 local officers appeared. Officer Hayes and Officer Reed. I made them coffee. Shown the tape. Marlene sneaking like a dollar store ninja. Hayes choked with laughing. "Consultant, government alongside," I clarified. They smiled, filed it as a non-issue, warned her, asked if they could use the footage for training. That same night, Marlene distributed HOA emergency flyers throughout the block. Military lab accusations and secret weapons. At the meeting, she brought a projector, slides in Comic Sans, ranting about sonic shields and explosions. I let her finish. Then stood. She broke in, tripped a legal deterrent, and now she's blaming me. Walt Grayson, ex-Navy, laughed. "She needs a hobby." "She says no civilian requires infrared wires," I replied. "I say no civilian requires trespassers." The board decided no infractions, no inspections. Marlene stormed out, muttering FBI. Then the stings. Ammo boxes in my bin. Deceptive lube containers in recycling. All planted. Video captured her glitter fanny pack falling into my trash at 2:11 a.m. Greg and Clara appeared red-faced. Promised disciplinary action. So I called Torres. Ex-ops. Still owed me a favor. Plan HOA demo day. Torres and his team rolled in incognito, unloaded shiny gear, conducted a complete civilian safety tech demo. Marlene's own drone signature triggered the scanner. Illegal surveillance. She freaked. Torres certified my garage exemplary. Next meeting, she brought fuzzy drone photos. I replied with signed permits and her crash footage. Torres dropped a file. Illegal drone. Federal offense. Marlene deflated. Court. Her $2,500 grievance against my mountain of evidence. Judge threw it out within 10 minutes. Marlene disappeared shortly afterward. Gossip has it that she sold to a baker. No clipboards ever again. Garage locked. Lawn serene. Crickets singing. Cedar Crest is calm once more. Marlene, just another distant echo.